today's operative question is this. When I'm watching this and I'm thinking about the interplay between them now we're looking at a confluence of money, muscles, and game, right? So you've got Andrew Tate, who's a millionaire. Okay, he's got looks. Everybody, before I even started this show, when you guys were sitting in the waiting room, everybody goes, well, he's got a lot of money and he's 6'100", of course he's going to get laid, right? Okay. So he's got the looks. Okay. He's got the money and he definitely has the game. Okay. Now, of those three, which one is the most important? I'm going to argue once again, like I have since 2013 when I published my first, actually it's from before that, but at least since 2013, when I published my very first book, I said this as well. I said looks, affluence, and game have at least two, okay, of those three things. Now, this was like before we started talking about money, muscles, game, and frame, blah, blah, blah. Okay. This was back in 2011 is when I wrote the blog post, but it was affluence, which I include status in with money. So therefore affluence. And then looks, of course, looks count. Looks matter. Is it all looks? No, it is not all looks. Okay. Game. Does game matter? Absolutely it does. Because if you can't be congruent with your looks and your game, or with your looks and your money and everything else, if you're not what that woman is expecting, then that's going to ruin you. That's going to ruin you, man. And I will explain to you why that is here. However, when we talk about the confluence of all three of those things, it struck me when I'm watching this this interplay between the two of them, that there are synergies. And I hate to use that term because I know it's like new age synergy, but there are synergies where one aspect plays off of the other one. So if you're a good looking dude and you don't quite have enough money, but you're like motivated and you've got good game, well, that synergy between the game and the looks can make up for the money, right? Or you can have the guy you can have a dude who's like, say, Jeff Bezos. Look at the guys who are the richest men in the world right now. You got Elon Musk, who, by the way, screwed the pooch, literally, once again, is now, responsible. Now we suddenly find out he's responsible for twins. He's, bugs out of the Twitter deal. People have just read me the riot act. Ran me up the flagpole. There you go. There's your first one of the day, my friends. Ran me up the flagpole.
Say my name.
Because I called Elon Musk a beta male, or I said Jeff Bezos is a beta male. What's funny is nobody gives me grief when I go and I talk and I say like Bill Gates is a beta male. He's like, he is. He's absolutely very much a beta male. You look at the richest guys. Like, look at let's just look at the top 4 or 5 richest men in the world. I don't know who like number 5 or 4 or 5 would be, but if we're going to talk about Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Bill Gates, if you're looking at those guys, you're gonna find that they are most definitely very much the most blue pill guys you'll ever know. All they have is money. That's all they've got. That's all there is. There's no physique. There's no game. It's a lot of money. Can they still get laid? Can they still make it? Yeah, of course they can. My first question, of course, and this was when I was on Adam Sosnick's shows, I said, if Jeff Bezos wanted to have a new chick every day, he could do that. And if you look at a guy like, say, Dan Bilzerian, and yes, I know he buys his chicks. Let's just hold your horses, okay? But Dan Bilzerian, I mean, even if he wouldn't need to buy his chicks, right? I mean, he essentially has built a brand of personality around being a high value man, right? He's the guy. And whether it's true or it's not, the impression is what we think that's congruent with what we would expect from a guy that looks like that, has the money like that, and now he's got the chicks like that. Remember what I've always said is that for a high value guy, alpha male, a powerful men throughout history have been defined by 3 different things. And what are those again? I'm sure you remember this. It is territory, resources, and access, exclusive access. He skips leg day. He does. Exclusive access to fertile women, whether that's virgins in the forbidden city guarded by eunuchs or whatever, doesn't matter. Those are the 3 things that have defined powerful men. And by the way, powerful primates. Whenever you hear somebody saying this, because I've heard other people sort of quote me or sort of paraphrase me on this, don't for a second think that it's coming out of their mouth. And don't for a second think it's coming out of my mouth either. Okay. I am actually paraphrasing from a book called Alpha God by Dr. Hector Garcia, who said exactly that. Throughout history, powerful men are defined by territory, resources, and access to fertile women. That's how it works. Emperors, kings, tribal chieftains, name it. Okay. Now, what are those let's just think about that for a second. Now, by the way, the reason why Hector Garcia brought that up was because he was not necessarily making comparisons, but he was making comparisons to primates, such as like chimps, gorillas, even bonobos to an extent, right? He was looking at how there was one central alpha male, and then there was the beta males who would sort of like tend to the needs of the females until they went into estrus or until they got hot because of it's time to go and twerk for the silverback, alpha, that guy. And then that ape, by the way, and then for the beta males, their sexual access was based on performance. It was based on goods. It was services provided, watching over the kids while they went and had sex with the alpha again. And from that, Dr. Hector Garcia came to those conclusions, which is that throughout history, powerful men, resources, territory, and exclusive sexual access to fertile young females, whether that's macaque monkeys or silverback gorillas. I don't know exactly. So